Let's be honest. If you've ever felt like the odd one out, you might just be an INTP. But here's the thing. Being the odd one out is your greatest strength. As one of the rarest personality types, INTPs don't just see the world differently, they experience it on a whole other level. You're not just a thinker, you're a philosopher, a conceptualizer, and a relentless challenger of the status quo. You question everything, including the systems that most people take for granted, and that's what makes you extraordinary. Of course, being an INTP comes with its own set of challenges. Your introspection, originality, and curiosity can sometimes leave you feeling misunderstood. Social interactions can drain you, and small talk often feels like torture. But the flip side? You thrive when expressing yourself creatively, exploring profound ideas, or diving into an intellectual debate. Today, we're diving into 7 things only true INTPs will understand. These insights will not only help you embrace your unique strengths, but also give you a better understanding of why you interact with the world the way you do. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end. The last 2 on this list are the ultimate signs that you are a true, genuine INTP. So grab your favourite beverage, settle into your thinking spot, and get ready to see yourself reflected in ways you never have before. Let's dive in. Number 7. INTPs are always misunderstood. If you've ever felt like people just don't get you, you're not alone. Being misunderstood is practically a hallmark of being an INTP. Your mind works differently, eccentrically even, and it's not uncommon for others to mistake your introspection for aloofness or your deep, philosophical nature for being too serious. Have you ever found yourself debating the nature of reality at a party, only to be met with blank stares or awkward chuckles? If so, welcome to the INTP Club. Let's be real, you're probably not at many parties to begin with. Crowds and surface-level chit-chat drain your energy faster than a dying phone battery. While others seem to glide through life making decisions on a whim, you can spend hours or even days over-analysing every move. And when you finally share your carefully considered thoughts, well, let's just say they're not always appreciated in the way you'd hoped. What's really going on here is your dominant function, introverted thinking, TE, which makes you hyper-focused on logic, accuracy, and solving complex problems. The problem? Only 8.7% of the population shares this gift, and those are mostly ISTPs. This leaves the other 91.3% wondering why you're always so deep in thought. The good news? Your little world of ideas and theories is endlessly fascinating, even if others don't understand it. And honestly, who cares? The greatest thinkers in history were often misunderstood too. Number 6. Solitude is your sanctuary. While others seem to thrive in social settings, you've always found peace in solitude. For an INTP, the idea of spending a Friday night out mingling with strangers is exhausting. Instead, you'd rather retreat to the quiet comfort of your own mind. Picture this: a cozy room, a steaming cup of coffee, and a thought-provoking book, or maybe a deep dive into an obscure topic on the internet. That's your idea of a perfect evening, but let's clear up a common misconception. INTPs aren't antisocial. You don't hate people, you just don't thrive on constant interaction the way extroverts do. In fact, when it comes to intellectual debates or discussions about meaningful topics, you can shine like an ENTP. The difference is, those conversations drain you after a while. Your mind is always on, and being around others, especially in environments that demand small talk or shallow interactions, can quickly become overwhelming. Solitude isn't just a preference for INTPs, it's a necessity. It's in these quiet moments that you recharge your mental batteries, consolidate your thoughts, and dream up the innovative ideas that make you who you are. Without that alone time, you'd quickly burn out. So, while others might see your need for solitude as antisocial or weird, you know better. It's not just about being alone, it's about connecting with your inner world, where the real magic happens. Number 5. You're a human lie detector. Have you ever found yourself watching someone tell a story and instantly spotting the holes in their logic? Or maybe you notice subtle shifts in their body language that don't quite match their words. If so, congratulations! You're an INTP and you're practically a walking lie detector. Your ability to detect lies isn't magic. It's the result of a razor-sharp mind and years of honing your observational skills. Thanks to your tertiary function, introverted sensing, SI, you're exceptionally good at recognizing patterns, whether they're in speech, behavior, or even inconsistencies in someone's tone of voice. It's like your brain is always running a silent fact check in the background. This makes you a formidable conversationalist, but it can also put you in some awkward situations. People don't always appreciate having their lies, or even their tiny exaggerations, called out. And while you might think you're doing them a favor by pointing out the truth, they may see it as an attack. Here's the kicker. This ability isn't just about catching others in lies. It's also about trusting your gut when something feels off. Your intuition, combined with your analytical nature, is one of your greatest strengths. Don't ignore it. It could make all the difference in navigating life's complexities. So the next time someone tries to pull a fast one on you, just smile and let them dig their own hole. You've already figured out the truth. Number 4, INTPs. Constantly question themselves and what they believe. One of the most fascinating traits of INTPs is their willingness, their need, to challenge their own beliefs. While many people cling tightly to their opinions, refusing to budge even when presented with new evidence, you're the opposite. For you, beliefs are temporary, fluid, and always subject to revision. This mindset stems from your love of logic and truth. You're not afraid to dismantle your worldview if the facts demand it. Have you ever believed in something wholeheartedly one day, only to spend the next day researching it, questioning it, and ultimately rejecting it? That's classic INTP behavior. It's not indecision, it's intellectual honesty. You understand that knowledge is ever evolving, and clinging to outdated ideas does nothing but hold you back. This willingness to question everything extends to every corner of your life, your political views, religious beliefs, and even personal habits. You're constantly searching for ways to improve and refine your understanding of the world. And while this can make you seem inconsistent to others, it's actually one of your healthiest traits. It's the reason you're able to grow and adapt in ways many people can't. INTPs also thrive on intellectual debates, especially with others who share their love of challenging ideas. A back and forth with a worthy opponent isn't just enjoyable, it's essential. These debates push you to refine your thinking and may even lead to groundbreaking insights. At the end of the day, you know that being wrong isn't a failure, it's an opportunity to learn. And that's a perspective more people could benefit from. Number 3, INTPs are self-taught experts on everything. INTPs are driven by an insatiable thirst for knowledge. If something piques your interest, you don't just dabble in it, you dive in headfirst, consuming every book, article, podcast, and video you can find. Whether it's learning a new language, dissecting historical events, or mastering a random skill like solving a Rubik's Cube in under a minute, your curiosity knows no bounds. But here's the catch. This learning spree doesn't last forever. INTPs tend to pursue new interests obsessively until they reach a point of either mastery or boredom. Once the initial excitement fades, you're likely to move on to the next shiny topic. This might make you seem scattered to others, but in reality, you're building an incredibly diverse knowledge base. This hunger for self-education isn't just a hobby, it's a superpower. By constantly acquiring new skills and information, you gain tools that can be applied to both your personal and professional life. For example, that random programming course you took on a whim. It might just land you a dream job, or that deep dive into psychology. It could help you understand people on a level most can't. And let's not forget the pure joy of learning for its own sake. For INTPs, The process of discovery is often more rewarding than the end result. So while others might see your ever-changing interests as flighty, you know better. You're not just a jack of all trades, you're a master of intellectual curiosity. Number 2, people think you're arrogant, but it's just your logic. If you're an INTP, chances are you've heard this before. Why are you always correcting people? Or, you think you know everything, don't you? And while these comments can be frustrating, they often stem from a misunderstanding of your intentions. Let's set the record straight. You're not trying to show off. When you say, well, actually, it's not about proving someone wrong, it's about seeking clarity and accuracy. Your brain is wired to question, analyze, and refine information. And when you notice an error or inconsistency, it's almost impossible to let it slide. It's like an itch you have to scratch. Unfortunately, this logical nature can sometimes come across as arrogance. People mistake your passion for precision as a need to dominate the conversation, when in reality, you're just trying to make sure everyone is on the same page. It's not about ego, it's about the truth. That said, there's always room for growth. If you can learn to deliver your corrections with tact and empathy, you'll find that people are much more receptive to your insights. Instead of coming across as a know-it-all, you'll be seen as someone who genuinely cares about understanding and sharing knowledge. So, the next time someone accuses you of arrogance, take a deep breath and remember, your logic is your superpower. It's not about being right, it's about making sense of the world, one conversation at a time. Number 1. INTPs have a tightly knit group of friends. If you're an INTP, your friend group is probably, well, tiny, and that's by design. While some people thrive on large social circles, you're extremely selective about who you let into your life. It's not that you don't like people, you just have a very specific idea of what friendship should be. For you, a perfect friend isn't someone who agrees with everything you say. In fact, hearing "you're right" too often might bore you. What you crave are deep, intellectual connections, friends who can challenge your ideas, engage in midnight debates about philosophy or science, and make you think in ways you never have before. Gossip and celebrity chatter? Hard pass. This high standard means that finding the right friends can be a challenge. Many people don't share your appetite for intellectual depth, and your natural introversion means you're not exactly out there mingling with the masses. But when you do find someone who gets you, that bond is unshakable. Your small friend group isn't a drawback, it's a reflection of your values. You'd rather have a handful of meaningful relationships than dozens of surface-level connections. And while your solitude is important, the people in your inner circle remind you that life isn't just about ideas and concepts. It's about experiences, emotions, and the beauty of human connection. So, if you've got a tight-knit group of like-minded individuals, consider yourself lucky. After all, quality over quantity has always been your mantra. If you've resonated with this list, chances are you're a true INTP. Life as an INTP can be both challenging and rewarding, but understanding your unique traits is the first step to embracing them. Share your thoughts, stories, or quirks in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep questioning, exploring, and staying true to your curious, brilliant self.